Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about chakras. I know all of you have heard the term chakra, and there's so much to talk about with chakra or chakras. First of all, what does chakra mean? Chakra is a Sanskrit word which means wheel of energy, if you will. So we are all energy, as I've said many times. So think of yourself as this vessel, this essence of energy of all different levels of frequencies, yes? So when the energy comes to a certain point, it makes a concentrated connection between the spirit world, the physical world, and in between the different levels that there exist, there comes a connecting point, which is called the chakra points. So it's really, if you can think of it as meridian points of the body, they're connected with the meridian points and really the nerve centers of the body. And each chakra point also is associated directly with the endocrine system of the body. So there's an opening and there's a closing, there's a bringing up and expanding and really concentrating down of energy. So energy constantly flows up and down the body all the time. So the outside influences around our world, our thoughts, our emotions, our physicality, all will really determine the expansiveness of the chakra point, the energy that's open, or if it's very closed. We always want to have energy flowing through the body, always. One of the very first psychic experiences I ever was involved in is learning how to see energy in the body and feel my way, if you will, clairvoyantly, through seeing and feeling the energy of the body going up and down the spine of somebody, scanning the body. And I did that really with the chakra points. The chakra points are really my beginning. I started as a chakra point and worked my way up. So I want to introduce to you today something which you might know already about, but listen, it doesn't matter how many times you hear this, because you can always learn something new depending on the teacher, the instructor. You'll hear something differently. So I just want to go over with you to remind you the basic fundamentals of various chakra points and what they do. And there might be some insights into things you've never thought about. So I have my friend Emily who's going to help me today. Emily, would you mind coming over? Hello, Emily, my model.
Hi,
hello,
James.
how are you? Good. So what I'm going to ask Emily to do is just be the model, the guinea pig, the model. And I just want you to, your stance, your feet about 2 feet apart. Yeah. And that's it. And that's fine. Perfect. So this is the body, beautiful body, Emily, right? And I'm going to talk about the first chakra point. Now, the first chakra point is at the base of the spine. It's the coccyx bone. It's right in this area. Some people think that chakras spin clockwise, they do, clockwise, counterclockwise, but also think of it as a disc going outwards as well, because the chakra points tend to go out and back as well as far as the movement of the chakra point. It's circulating, but it's also going up and down. So it's like this whole system here, each chakra point moving in different directions, up and down, and also spiraling. Yes? So clockwise, counterclockwise, and so forth. So the first root chakra at the base of the spine, the coccyx bone, and is associated with the color of red. And red is about grounding and security, having ourselves firmly planted upon the ground. That's the red color, the first base chakra. The second chakra is really the pubic bone area. It's the color of orange. And that is, of course, that's located right at the pubic bone area, or 3 inches below the belly button, I would say. And that's really where the energy comes up there, and it's co-creation. It's life. It's vividness. It's really moving the energy up to create this beautiful life. And we really need that to be open. And that's the orange center. Now, the second center of the orange is also the very first emotional center. And that'll be very true when we start working with clairsentience in our psychic work. So remember, that's the second center, but it's the first emotional center, which means that a lot of raw emotional data comes up and starts in that center. Yeah, that's our basic desires, sexual appetite, sensory appetite. That's the first place of that. The second chakra, the orange chakra. Now moving up to the third chakra, which is your solar plexus area. And for this class, this is very, very important, because this is your gut. This is your intuitive center. This is the yellow center right in the solar plexus area, where you are constantly receiving programs and transmitting out. Receiving and transmitting out. And the more we can turn up the volume on that center, we can hear programs. The hard part is knowing what's differentiated between our own programs and that are outside of us, other people's programs. So the third center is the solar plexus center, the seat of knowingness. Go with your gut. So when your psychic work comes in, that's where you really want to go to, is that gut center, okay? Also remember, this is the second emotional center, which means that the raw data comes into the second chakra of the orange. It's raw, it gets more defined, refined, if you will, to that solar plexus, so you understand something more emotionally. Now we're going to go to the fourth chakra. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra, the color of green. That fourth chakra is my favorite chakra. Green, it's this beautiful energy. It's a seat of healing. It's a seat of spiritual awareness. It's connected to the oneness of everyone. It is a seat really of compassion and peace and just love. That's what it is. It's love. That's the green center. Remember now, it's the third most emotional center. So you are first, start with the second chakra, third chakra, and fourth chakra. Second, third, fourth. And those are the emotional centers of the body. Second, third, and fourth chakras are the emotional centers of the body. And that is really used for what we call clairsentience. And I'll talk about that later on, clairsentience, clairsensing. So when you walk into a room and you feel a certain way about the room, or you meet somebody, you feel a certain way about that person, you're using the second, third, and fourth chakra, clairsentience. You're sensing, you're feeling. You feel with the second, third, and fourth chakra. So those are what you're going to be using. Most of you in this class will be using the second, third, and fourth the most. Yeah? So it doesn't come in the head, it comes down here, second, third, and fourth. Very important to know that. Okay? Now we move up to the fifth chakra. The fifth chakra is the blue chakra, the throat chakra. This throat chakra, and Emily, put your head just a little bit up, because I remember from doing your other reading, it'll close in that throat chakra, so it's interesting you had your head down. So there are different degrees and different levels of opening the chakra and closing the chakra. And a little bit later, we'll do a little meditation as far as opening up and closing down. Now, the blue throat chakra is the chakra, the energy point for creativity. It is very, very creative center and a self-expression center. And if someone is afraid of speaking in public or saying exactly what they think, speaking their truth, you can know that they have a closed throat chakra. They're afraid to express themselves. So, of course, you want to bring more blue in to open that center up. So, believe it or not, this creative center, the blue center here, is really controlled what we call clairaudience, which is clair hearing. So you'd hear it in your throat. You'd hear the creative stuff in your throat, which is interesting, yeah? So we hear that in the throat. So that's that blue chakra. Now, we want to go to the third eye chakra, which is right up here, right in the middle of the forehead. And that is the seat of the clairvoyance, the third eye visions. This is where you'll open up to visions, things to see, whether it's about yourself in the future, seeing the higher truth of people, visions. That's where you're going to be in the third eye center right here. That's where your clairvoyance sits, clairvoyance, clairsight. That's where you'll see pictures, images, impressions. And that's really where you're going to be activating is that third eye center for your clairvoyance when you do the psychic work. And that is really beautiful indigo color that's associated with that third eye center. Now, there'll be some of you that certain centers, certain chakras are more powerful than the other ones, or you feel more relatable to certain ones than others. Try sometime to place the red chakra up to the fifth chakra and move things around and see how you feel when you change the colors around in different spaces and different energies in different places of the body. Some interesting things will happen, some different insights, some different feelings, some different knowingness will have, so that's very interesting. The top of the head is a crown chakra, and this is your direct line to spirit. This is a direct line to the cosmos, inspiration, high messages, and this is really the high-mindedness, if you will. Beautiful, beautiful, into this violet color here, the violet flame. That goes up right here. And when you're inspired by something, you're receiving direct contact from the cosmos, from source. Comes in right here. And most of us have this crown chakra open. Most of us, especially those who do spiritual work, who do work of the mystic, who do work of the higher truth, higher learning, the very beautiful crown chakra here. So very interesting to see that. So now we have here, I just want to show you something which I love to teach because many people have a hard time visualizing maybe the earth energy and the cosmic energy and how it comes down to the body. So we talk about running our energy and visualizing all that. Sometimes it's hard for you. So I just want to show you a way where you can just acknowledge that that exists in a simple way. So Emily, would you put your arms straight up like that? There you go. And your legs straight, matching your feet the same width. Now, I just want you all to notice that the arms come up and we put them out to the air. We receive the energy coming into the arms, coming right down. Where does it end up? To the heart. Now, if you go the other triangle coming up from the ground up, where do they meet? They meet in the heart and the solar plexus, the cosmic energy and the earth energy. You meet a perfect triangle with, of course, sacred geometry. Where you go. So you're mixing the two elements of the cosmic, the source energy, and the earth energy comes right into your knowingness. See? Now, there might be some people who need more earth energy than cosmic energy. Okay, put your arms down. That's great. Thank you, darling. And so what I would say to you is bring the earth energy up all the way to your top of your solar plexus, and then the rest of it can be cosmic energy. But if you find you're someone still that tends to wander coming out of the body and have a hard time staying in the body, you could always visualize like that you're buried in sand. You bring all that earth energy up to your throat, and that way you can be stable and secure, and you really will be part in the body. I know that you have trouble with that sometimes. Leaving your body, or oh, there, I'm over here, I'm over here. A lot of us do. A lot of us tend to just jump out of the body without knowing it. We're driving the car, and all of a sudden our exit goes by. Where was I? I didn't get off the exit. Because we're not in our body. We're not centered in our head. So many times if we are more like based out, we call it sometimes, we're not more in the body. So when we're more in the body, which means that we're bring more earth energy up into the body. Really, really true. Now, if you're too earthy and you can't open up yourself up to the higher levels, you want to bring less earth energy. So bring earth energy up probably to the second or third chakra, and there's cosmic energy, bring it down. And you have to play with that, the cosmic energy and the earth energies, and the formula that's particularly right, unique to you. So you might be somebody who's 60% earth, 40% air, or vice versa. So it just depends on your own makeup. But it's something to play with and be aware of. So these are the chakra points, the energy system of the body, and it's really important that, just like we can imagine, these always moving, constantly moving, and they're affected by our thoughts, they're affected by the foods we eat, they're affected by the people that are in our atmosphere that we interact with, they're affected by the thoughts that are walking around us, the energy that's all around us. These all play a major part. So you always want to make sure the energy points, the chakra points are moving, shifting, the energy is flowing, because if it gets stuck, if there's an energy point that gets stuck and stagnant, it's not going to create movement, and movement is health. Movement is life. So if it gets stuck and gets stagnant and stays there, for instance, let's say it's a woman who lost her husband and she's very much in grief, and she stays in that grief and she closes down that heart chakra and it doesn't move because she's so in her loss and her grief, eventually it's going to cause dis-ease, or it's going to cause an imbalance in the body. It's something you should be aware of, okay? So we only want the energy to moving up and down and flowing. I also, many people wonder about different analogies I can use for stagnant energy. And what I love is, we could probably all relate to this, in the bathtub, or in the shower, when there's a lot of hair in the drain, the water won't flow through it because you have all that gunk in there. It's the same thing emotionally if we're stuck with certain things in our chakra points, whether it's emotion or some physical instability or some fatigue. So we have to make sure it's always moving to the right thing to do that.